Fields Configuration Scheme. This tutorial is dedicated to the configuration of issue fields, which you can do with Fields Configuration Scheme. As you should know it from the previous tutorials, JIRA holds information about issues in fields, which are some type of data, which could be anything like numbers, text, images, even tables, as we can see it here. And JIRA allows you to define some of the behavior of these fields. And in particular, JIRA allows you to hide some fields from users so that the field will be present on the screen but just hidden from viewing of users. Or JIRA also allows you to make the field require it. So for instance, when you want your users to force some crucial information for your issue, some issue creation or issue editing, transition, you can make this field just requirement and not allow the user moving further unless he or she enters in the required information. What you can also do, you can also add some description to the field that will appear below the field when issues are created or edited, so users will get some additional information about the data which that field contains. So let's go back to our project settings and go to the fields and see in practice how you do it. So the behavior of the fields and set of the fields available for your project are being defined within the field configurations. As you can see, as this project is using the system default field configuration, which contains the following custom fields like a text version, assign attachments, and so on. And we could see here other information such as which of the fields are required, such as, for example, a text version is required, epic name is required. And you can also define the renderers. As JIRA administrator, you can edit the existing field configuration. So this is the default field configuration. And if you go here, like hide, for example, effect versions. For example, let's make some custom field required, like labels, for example. Let's make labels required. So now when we create an issue of story, let's make it story, we see is that among the issues, labels becoming required, and we cannot move further even if we enter all the necessary information in our issue, like summary and report term. If we leave labels and we go and create, it will tell us that label is required simply because we have changed it in our field configuration, the property of this field required to require it. Or was it labels? What we can also do, we can make labels hidden. So let's create other issue and go. We see won't find here labels anymore because field will be hidden from the screen, while this field will be still on the screen. So this is another way of hiding field from your screen. Instead of just deleting it, you can make it hidden. It's useful in the situations when you want, for example, to read some information from your issue where some, I don't know, script runner, for instance, when you use scripting and you track this information, it's necessary for your further processing of the data, but you just want to hide this information from a user. As JIRA administrator, you can also, if you go back to the project settings and go to the fields, you can rather use a different scheme with different set of fields with different configurations, or you can create a totally new one. So like here, for example, I have created already my field configuration. Just add a new field configuration and call it my field configuration added. And here we have a set of custom fields. So what we can do here, we can define which custom fields will be hidden, which will be required, and so on. We can also choose like screens where it will be shown. And in the field configuration schemes, we can, for example, configure that our story, for instance, issue type will use my field configuration scheme. So what it basically means that in this case, only story issue type will use the fields and the rules applied to these fields in this my field configuration, like here, and all other issues, they will follow just general rules of the default field configuration. So in this way, you can define the behavior of the fields in JIRA, and by manipulating different issue types in this way and assigning different fields behavior to different issue types. In the next tutorial of this section, we're going to have a look at managing a project with versions.